Okay, so I think first thing we're gonna cover for today is gonna be the game, Josh.
Yay!
So yeah, so for everyone who has or has not been keeping up, the SVS game has been making really great progress. So what we're gonna be doing is the close beta is almost ready, right, Josh?
Yeah, we're shooting for next Wednesday.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have sort of like a whitelist system for it. So I think Josh will be picking about 50 people to be able to, play the game early, test it out.
Right.
So
So we're going to be
yeah,
doing 50 people, basically anybody who's been really focused on the game, asking about it, who's been hanging out in the Twitch stream, and they'll be selected, and then somehow we'll divvy out the keys to be able to be so the game is playable. And then as we get closer to open beta, we'll bring more people into the closed beta, and then everybody at one point will be able to play, and we'll have a easy way to submit feedback in the game and everything like that.
yeah. So that's pretty much it. So we'll have like about 50 people, and then we're going to be releasing a little bit more content about the game as we get closer to the release. So, we hope everyone's excited for that. Pro
Yes.
gamer, Claffy. Yeah. So, some of you, I'm not sure how many of you actively tune into Josh's stream, so you guys can talk to him about it there as well. And then we'll announce when we do distribute the 50 keys, so everyone can begin testing the game. Hype, right, hype. Okay, so what we're gonna do, our format for today is we're gonna do like maybe 10 minutes, quickly answer some Reddit questions, and then we're gonna go into the normal AMA format because that's what we do around here. So make sure while we're doing the Reddit questions, everyone just raise your hands. Get your questions ready, and then we'll go from there. So how we're gonna do it is for the next 10 minutes, bullish stage coordinator Ryan is gonna read out maybe like a couple of questions, and then T is gonna attend to them before we continue through the normal AMA process.
Okay, so yeah, we're going to start with some of the most popular ones from the Reddit, and then we might get to some more later on, depending on how many people raise their hand. So the first one was from Agreeable Fortune, who says, can we start off the AMA with just some simple updates? They listed some topics, saying a staff and team update, a marketing update, roadmap update. So T's just going to give a quick overview of some things we've been having in the works recently.
Yeah, so hello everyone. Glad you guys could tune in for today's AMA. So I'm going to kind of combine this as sort of a staff team / marketing update, since, the staff and the team is obviously relevant to the marketing aspect of the project as well. So for starters, I'm sure you guys have seen the new banners across, all the social medias. We've decided to team up with a UK-based design studio, Studio Carter. It's ran by Hayden Carter, who has about 10 plus years of graphic design experience. And the main goal with teaming up with him teaming up with them is to really strengthen the SVS brand identity and start pushing out a wide variety of custom tailored content across all the socials, and really elevating what's really getting out there, because we see a lot of suggestions about increasing our activity on social media. And we see it ourselves too. It's obviously a well, deserved, and it's a valuable improvement to the project overall, since we're going to have access to that service. We're also in the process of bringing on another artist to work on illustrative content while Mig works on Gen 2. So, obviously a graphic designer isn't going to be able to, illustrate and post out that sort of content. So we're going to be bringing someone on to help with that. So you guys can expect lore, just marketing, promotional material, all like illustrative and artistic. And really, we're just, doing this to really tie up the brand and really strengthen that brand identity. Kind of explaining what it really means and showing what it means to be a vamp. And some more marketing updates. We have a couple big, IRL collaborations coming up this month in December. They'll be announced hopefully pretty soon. So you guys can stay tuned with that. I don't want to, say too much, but a couple things are coming. We're also actively reaching out to Twitter and YouTube influencers who fit, a very specific criteria. The specific criteria being, like influencers who focus on NFTs, influencers who really, they have the views to back up their followers, and vice versa. Really, who bring value to SVS. We're not just trying to go to people who just mindlessly show projects. We want people who are they themselves are interested in the project and the team. So yeah, that's a little bit of a staff marketing, sort of like an overall, update. But community has been really great with us through, helping us through this. And you guys are doing really great. So I really wanted to thank you guys for that. We can move on to the next one, Ryan.
Okay, the next one was, I know this is going to be quite a hot topic question today, so we might as well at least try and address it as much as we can, which is for an update on efforts to join other exchanges such as Coinbase, Crypto.com, etc., and any advertising opportunities around them. Obviously, there isn't too much we can say about those at the minute until they happen or until talks proceed and things like that. We don't really have updates for you. I know that's not really what everyone wants to hear. But yeah, T, if you have anything else to add to that.
Yeah, I think just before just before you begin like chat, with stuff like we know Coinbase and things is something that what everyone wants. It's not something that we can really say or give too much detail about, like what Ryan says, but like, just know that it is like on the top of our priority list, and it is something that we're like working on every day to try and get done and, increase our chances of being able to be, listed on these exchanges.
Yeah, and if you do look through the tweets that Coinbase have made so far and look at some of the collections that they have announced so far, there is seemingly patterns and things like that on the sort of projects that they're prioritizing at first, and then I'm sure that's going to come down. If you look at some of the volumes and things like that on those projects, they're clearly working down in some sort of strategic way, so obviously we have to be patient in the way that they're announcing things on their end.
Yeah,
I think you can add anything to that. Yeah.
I think that covers it. I mean, the best thing we can do now is to sort of just wait it out and, sort of, I guess, sit quiet, and you guys should, hopefully wait for some updates from us, and we'll do our best to, as soon as we can let you guys know something, we will. Definitely, for sure. But we are, this is a priority for us. It's a very big priority. Mm-hmm.
Okay, another question we had was from the Crypto Lord, and he said, when might we see some of the fruit from Brian's edition? Is there any partnerships being revealed? I know that sort of ties into what T said already.
Yeah, so I mean, we're actively, the elders, the team, we're actively talking to Brian, and it's, Brian, he's not gonna, there's an indirect effect on the project as well. Like the advice we get from Brian, and his experience, we go to him like multiple times a week with different questions and things that, to sort of get his input on and see what he thinks. So that's really what the main, like what we're doing now. There are a few things that we also do need to get to Brian from our side, which, we're working on for him to be able to proceed with some things that he's working on. But we will let you guys know, but also keep in mind, there's a lot of indirect effects of having Brian on the team. So be mindful of that as well.
Okay, another one we had, which is another hot topic as well that I've seen quite a lot of talk about, is regarding sponsorships. This one was from Tokyo Disco, and he said, is the team looking to sponsor or pay for any promotions across NFT influencers, YouTubers, or Instagram pages? If so, is there anyone that we can say?
Yes, we are looking to reach out to influencers, YouTube's, Instagram pages. Like I mentioned, if they fit that specific criteria, we want people who, really have the view count to back up their subscribers on YouTube, people who have good interaction on Twitter, people who don't just show projects every day mindlessly. We're really targeting high value individuals, and that's even outside of the NFT space as well. Like with any celebrities that we have, Brian reach out to, or anything that we have, anybody who we have Brian reach out to too. We're really aiming for high value. Like the best case scenario, the best people we do want to work with are people who are actually interested in the project. They themselves want to invest. They're very eager about they really like what's going on. We don't just want to make it like a one-off deal, sort of paid promotion and that's it. Just nothing mindless. We want to target the individuals that we want to choose a very specific category of individuals for who we reach out to. So I mean, if you guys have anybody specific in mind, always feel free to ping me in suggestions or shoot me a DM. But we do have a good list of individuals that we're reaching out to. Yeah.
Cool. So, the Crypto Lord, I'm bullish on the 2D vamp. Very bullish. Yes, we're very bullish. Okay, so that's all that we're gonna devote time to today for the actual like Reddit stuff, because we want to be more. The whole point of these AMAs is to be extremely engaging with you guys. So now we're gonna go on to the normal AMA process. So please get your hands raised and let's get this bullish AMA. I am doing this at 4 a.m. from a hotel room, so please chat. Let's get bullish, sirs. Okay. Can we get the first one up, Ryan?
Yep, the first person is Vamp276.
Classic. We start every AMA with the first guy not knowing his mic is muted. 2D vamp is a real vamp, confirmed. Yes. Yeah, like clockwork. Sleepy 2D vamp is ASMR. Is
Maybe
Mick busy?
bring someone else on.
Yeah, let's get someone else in the meantime. EQ Pappy. Let's see if he has a working mic.
Yeah, so for you guys wondering why Meg is not here, he just has some stuff to attend to. Meg and me are in the same time zone, so sometimes with family and stuff he can't make it at these odd hours of the night. I know, not very vampire of him, but we'll excuse him. It's okay.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. I didn't know I was being put on the spot, but then I will take the time to ask a question then. So this week I wrote a Twitter thread on the language of vamps, and I noticed that Bake is Bored Ape Yacht Club is becoming a cultural phenomenon, and that's really our way of really doing it. So I wanted to just push everyone to use the language, good morning, Syndicate. That's sneaky. Good night, getting to the coffin, stuff like that. So, not talking about the team or devs, elders, and you guys are awesome. Also, I'm thinking of doxing myself, maybe. I have a friend so I'm an economist, actually, and English is not my first language. I have a friend who wrote an article in I'm an economics professor. I will dox myself soon because I believe in this project. I have 13,000 Twitter followers. Um, I'm an economics professor at NYU. So my friend, anyway, he wrote an article on the HBR, Harvard Business Review, on um, um, on NFTs. So I'm thinking of how I can do something like in a completely different world that would be helping SVS out. Anyway, I'm gonna post my profile right here. I'm just throwing that out, and then we can see, whatever we can do together. That's pretty much it. And then, so yeah, guys, so that's it. So this wasn't really a question. You just put me on the spot, and I wasn't asking a question. So I'm just gonna do that, and I will say again, let's use the language. And sorry, I'm long. Here I'm throwing it out. There we go. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you for coming up.
Awesome.
I know.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, we saw your hand raised, so we pulled you up, but it's not everyone has a question. That's fine. So it's pretty cool, guys. We have our own NYU Vamp. Very bullish. So that's pretty awesome. Yes, I do agree. Maybe some of the language and the lore stuff we can work on a little bit to get people to know like who we are, what we do a little bit more on here. I know this is something that we have been discussing internally. So like we will be having a lot more lore based stuff coming up in like the coming weeks. So what we're actually getting done is that we're gonna have a lot more lore based artwork as well that we're going to be releasing on our social media platforms for everyone to see, just to help you guys envision the lair. And we are also working on designing the lair in Sandbox right now with a team of professional builders. So there's a lot of like lair stuff and lore stuff happening right now. So that's some good news for you guys.
Okay, I think EQ Poppy's up here if he has his question.
Yeah, I was just giving you guys a second to finish up. Yeah, so my company's actually going to be doing work at Miami Art Basel. So we have a couple things going on. It's like music based and art integration as well. I was wondering if you guys are going to be doing more in-person events. Like I partook in NFT NYC and I got to see a lot of artists, but artists' work, but not a lot of artists presenting themselves. I know that you guys haven't officially docked yourself, and I get the point for that. But are you willing to be open for like open events, like for example, like having artwork shown at a gallery, and you kind of get to meet your fan base?
So T, maybe you want to do this one?
Yeah.
You have some. We were just recently
in a
discussing some
general
real life
sense,
stuff.
I mean, you're referring to physical events for Vamps, right?
Correct. Yeah. So like
Yeah.
attending
So,
a gallery event and then having like some good PR going out.
I can't comment on the elders attending events, but we are working on some physical events that are, I guess, coming up, and yeah, physical events are definitely on the table for sure, but I can't really comment on if elders are going to attend, if
maybe
who's
we
going to be able
can.
to attend. I really can't say that, but physical
Yeah,
events,
so
the Vamps are
maybe a good
definitely.
idea. A good idea for a physical event is we're all spread around the world, right? Like the Infinity Stones, So what happens is we do have one big ass stone, and we can set a vote to let maybe Freddie attend. Freddie built like Thanos these days, so maybe we can get Freddie to attend the event. What do you guys think? Rasit Infinity Boulder. Freddie too be built like a boulder. So maybe we can have community vote, and if everyone wants, we'll fly Freddie out to Art Basel to promote the Vamps. What do you think, Freddie?
Or maybe 2D should go instead, I think.
Oh yes. Maybe we can go together. Okay, no problem.
I'll bet.
Okay, well, hope that answers your question.
Yeah,
But
I
we're
was just
definitely maybe one day some of us. It's probably pretty unlikely that all of us could go and attend at the same time. But like if the schedule does fit, I would see that maybe like one or two of us wouldn't mind doing this, because it's a little bit difficult as well with COVID travel restrictions. So hopefully in the following year, like this is something that we definitely discussed with Mig, and Mig is definitely keen for this. So when the opportunity does come up, probably would be Mig and maybe one or two of us where it is possible to facilitate. We would go and then we would, attend an event like this.
Got it. Yeah, I'm actually setting up a gallery myself for the event that we're doing in Miami. So maybe in the future, I can let you guys know about if there's a conference happening and my company's doing an event for a gallery, and we can kind of work together on that.
Yeah, for sure. As long as we have the dates, like with a little bit of notice, I'm sure we can make something happen.
Absolutely.
That's
I'll let
not a
you guys.
problem.
I'll let you guys know how the Miami event goes, and then we can go forward from there.
For sure. Yeah,
Awesome.
we'll
Thank
stay
you
in
so
contact.
much. Thank you so much.
Again, thank you very much. I'm very appreciative of the work that you guys do. Always, setting our name on the space, and thanks again.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is Plaffy. regular face around here.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, Lavi?
Hey.
Hello, Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, what's good? I don't really have a question for y'all. I guess kind of more of just a comment of the last weekend. It seems to kind of our like community kind of is in a weird is goes through a weird cycle where it's all chill and fine and happy and bullish and all this stuff, and then one thing happens and it just flips to like a mob mentality. And this is just not anyone in specific, because I don't remember, but just for people that are in the community and in the chat, it's like, just try and act your age to a degree. And if people are trying to sell something, like, there's no need to berate them on selling whatever they decide to sell. I know after the whole fiasco over the weekend, it was myself, Karate, OG Ape, Half Baked, Caramelin, and Replicant Steve that were kind of discussing what was going on. And I'm sure they could formulate and articulate what we discussed better than I can. But I think to a degree, something that we may want to change is kind of how our mods address the chat, in terms of probably being a bit stricter on kind of not only just some of the language, but kind of addressing that flip, because it's happened. And I'm sure you guys saw it at the beginning. Y'all would release an announcement. It would go, people would chill and be super hyped about it. And then 2 weeks goes by and people get anxious and kind of freak out and ask y'all what's going on and why the floor hasn't pumped to 100 Ethereum yet and all this other stuff. And then kind of part two of this rant is for those that are in the community, go on Twitter Spaces, try and get involved with other Discords and communities. Try and make as many friends in the NFT community as possible, because that also shows well for us if we're more engaged across the board. But yeah, that was really it.
Yeah, so thank you, Platy, first of all. That is well said, because like for most of the guys in chat, our whole aim is to get more and more people exposed to our project and to come into the Discord. So, when new people are in the lair, they will be put off if they join and they just see that it is arguments between each other for things like this. So, it's important to be aware of what's going on. So, we want to keep a positive vibe all the time, and build a community and be encouraging to each other. And also, like, I don't think it's a positive thing to berate people for selling, because we don't really know what someone's life circumstances could be. Maybe somebody might need the money more than another person. Somebody might have to liquidate for some other reason. So I do think what Plaffy said does have a lot of truth to it. And yeah, Plaffy, we have already informed the mods on to keep things civil and the proper way to speak and keep all the language in check. So thank you. Do you have a question besides that?
That's awesome. No, just last thing, Dorkula and I, for anyone that's in Texas, we're trying to set up like a blood drive event or whatever down in Austin. So reach out to one of us. We're trying to kind of slowly put a SVS blood drive together in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, that's awesome. Keep us posted with the progress on that, and if there's anything that you guys want to ask us and need some help from us, then just reach out to T or myself with anything to do with that.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is Replicant Vamp.
Hey team.
What's good?
Hello.
How's it going, you guys?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Plaffy's a tough act to follow, but I'm glad to be in the same community as that guy. He's a solid part of, I think, what makes our community special. And I'm glad that, he's been more active because I think he's a pretty shining example. So shout out to Plath. I think some of us, like, quote unquote OG members, wanted to jump up on stage today to echo the same sentiments. Our community really started off in this like kind of weird, bizarre, happy, like positive vibes way, which was very beautiful, I think, for a lot of us who started out. And, we just want to see that continue. And I'm just, coming up here to ask people to, like, call people up and in, and to invite them into conversations rather than like shouting them down or criticizing them for positions, because that doesn't get us anywhere as a community. And 2D, I really appreciate you echoing or backing what Plaffy had to say. I don't think we can say it enough, and maybe we need some more reminders. So on that note, my question is kind of more for T. T, do you have any ideas about how, not only do we reach other communities and build bridges, but how we might, build stronger relationships within our communities, whether that's like a VAMP support, VAMP effort, so that we can like build together. Yeah.
To essentially like strengthen the community.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of things that, like as Claffy said, there are things that, need to be, I guess, fixed or addressed or, just acknowledged in general. I really appreciate you guys, sort of, coming up here and really acknowledging these things, because I feel like that's what a lot of us fail to do. And, when you do acknowledge those things, it's when you really do start to see the change. So acknowledgement is definitely key. But within the community, there are definitely a lot of initiatives, I guess, or things that we can implement to further help and build stronger bridges within our own community. Examples of that, like what we've been doing recently, like the networking channel, that's huge. If nobody's, if you guys haven't checked that out yet, if you have a craft, if you have a skill, if you have a trade, if you just anything in general, if you you just want to talk to someone, go to the networking channel. Put yourself out there, let everybody, sort of get a better picture for you. That's a great way to do things. We're also working on, implementing other community focused channels. I mean, Ryan's our community manager. We're all working together to sort of strengthen this and implement new things. So you guys just coming up here, it just, it solidifies that even more, and it's going to make us work even harder to, better the community and strengthen it.
Yeah, that's great. And the last thing that I just want to say kind of about that, like, people getting up here and acknowledging some of the, challenges that we have as like a community, is there are a lot of people who I believe, contribute significantly to our efforts. And I just want to like remind those people that even if you don't see yourself as like a community leader, or maybe don't have like an acknowledged title or role, that there are new members, there are other community members who still see you as leaders because you're active in the community, and you're like making suggestions and building things for SVS. And like, in a very silly sense, like with that kind of power or influence comes a lot of responsibility. And I would just like challenge everyone to kind of accept that responsibility and help us move things forward. So I appreciate y'all letting me come up and say that. Yeah, mad respect.
Of course. I mean, thank you for coming up. Thank you, for acknowledging it, bringing it up. This is something that I will put my attention towards as well, and make sure that, the team and we're all pushing some things out for you guys in terms of, building a stronger community. I mean, I feel like that's also naturally going to happen with, I've been pushing a lot with brand identity. When there is a strong brand that we can all back, that also brings us together. ultimately, with just building it, the identity, we're going to back it. We're all here as a community to push it forward and, bring it to the moon. So thank you for coming up.
Thank you very much. My 2D representative.
Yeah.
Okay, next we'll bring up Paul. I'm sure he's got some bullish information for us this week.
Yeah, we do love a good bullish, don't we, chat? Very bullish.
All right. Sorry, it took me a second to get up. Hey, everybody. It's Brock Vanson's weekend numbers for all of my nerdy.
Our favorite segment of the week.
This is my favorite time too, because it's like, all right, before the AMA, I get to jump in here and kind of see what we did as a community and everything like that. So I'll start. SVS NFT, that hashtag, we saw a dip in that over the last 7 days. Majority of the reason that is because a lot of the community initiatives have been focusing on following people, liking, retweeting, commenting, and stuff. So we haven't had a lot of organic posts where we're pushing that particular hashtag. So we saw about our reach was about 89,000 with that this last week. Compared to the week before was about 450,000. But if you look at our community initiatives, that would make sense based on the stuff that we were having everybody go, and post and everything like that and create organically. So those numbers make sense to me. But just keep in mind, even when you're commenting on stuff, you can go back to the community initiatives, grab those hashtags that we've recommended from past ones, and you can plop those in there too. And that's going to help expand that reach just within that comment in there as well. So, a really good comment always includes a couple key hashtags in there. So just keep that in mind when you guys are posting. Our hashtag SVS, we hit about 54,000 accounts. That was, down from 222,000 the week before. But again, I explained why that was. But now the bullish part of this, and this is the part that I was really excited about, is this week we had one post go out where I had you guys basically post your favorite vamp that was available on OpenSea. And that was just a 1 day task. That 1 day, our reach was 41,500 different accounts. And I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. We have not seen we haven't seen our highest interaction with our community initiatives this last week. We've definitely had weeks where the community has been much more engaged in them. So if I see just a few people that are doing this, but we're hitting 41,500 different accounts, I mean, that's huge. I mean, can you imagine if we collectively all got together and said, hey, we're going to devote the time to do this every day or every other day, whatever you're available to, but we're consistent about it. It's just huge. I mean, we can talk about paying all the influencers in the world. They will never have the type of reach that this community can have organically if we can all come together and post our content around the same time using the same hashtags. So keep that in mind when we're kind of talking about paying for outside marketing and stuff. The most impressive and hardcore marketing we can do is the stuff that every single one of us can send out on a regular basis. So that makes me extremely bullish. The other thing that makes me really excited about this is that if we look at our last week in Discord numbers, this is only, I believe, the second week now that I've actually devoted to tracking our Discord and Twitter numbers on here. We had about 1,200 new people in our Discord from just this last 7 days. And I think I want to kind of touch on what Plaffy mentioned is let's keep in mind that, as a community manager and stuff like that, one of the biggest things that we see is that the silent majority never really speaks their mind, right? It's always the few outspoken people that make the biggest waves. So keep in mind that even though there might be some negativity flowing back, that doesn't represent a vast majority of what the community is saying. And when you do see that negative stuff, and if you are engaging with it, which I'd encourage you not to engage with negative content, but if you are, take it into a DM. It's like it's hard to take the ego out of it because you want to prove your point to everybody in the Discord. But it's not a good look when we have this many people coming in on a regular basis. So just keep that in mind. And I know it's kind of hard to swallow that sometimes. I know I struggle with it on a regular basis. But if you could just take that into a DM, it would make a big difference for the rest of the community, because it no longer devotes any of that feed space to content that doesn't do anything. It doesn't help anybody at all. It doesn't change our floor. It doesn't change our reach. It doesn't do anything like that. And then with our Twitter followers, we actually we're up at about 49,150 followers right now. We picked up 3,000 additional Twitter followers in the last 7 days, which, that's a really big markup for us. So it's exciting to see that we are getting a lot more reach out of this. And that also means that now our voices have a lot more power behind them. So I would encourage everybody to kind of reignite that excitement about the community initiatives and stuff like that, and really get out there, post them. I know it's kind of hard when you're just throwing it out into the universe. I promise you it's working. I'm sitting on the other side, and I'm seeing this. And then, possibly maybe going forward, I can start communicating with somebody from the team that has access to our Twitter insights from our actual account, because I'd love to be looking at those and sharing those as well, because numbers don't lie. And that's all I got for everybody. I love you guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul.
Good stuff.
Very bullish on Paul. Thank you. Yeah, we do love the weekly updates. In case you guys didn't know, Paul actually invented the hashtag. That's why he's so good at interacting with it. So so let's all take his advice, and
I'm invested in
let's
it.
keep growing. Let's keep growing. I mean, we also do see the Twitter growth. Week by week we go up. X amount of followers. And I saw the Medium tweet on the Blood article also went pretty crazy. So it's really good to see that our community efforts are all paying off and we're growing together.
Indeed, you guys are awesome. That's the thing. Community's like, well, we got to do our part, community, and let these guys do the stuff in the background and everything, because they're doing stuff. And I know we just can't share. They just can't share everything all the time, because there's a lot of work that needs to get done, and you don't want to make promises that don't work out. So if we keep doing our stuff, it'll work. It is without a doubt it will work. So everybody just really dig in there and let's spread the good word.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is All Timer Reborn.
Can you hear me now?
We can.
Yes, loud and clear. Hello.
Oh, great. Hello. Sorry, I got a bit of a cold, but I'll try and work through that. I just want to continue the idea of community. I just want to say a big thanks to everybody who was involved. Obviously, in the weekend sweep event. I know maybe we shouldn't mention it, but I think it was a very well executed. Even though it was a short time and it was not maybe the perfect thing as everybody wanted, but I just want a personal call out, because I know there's a lot of people who did spend a lot of time and a lot of energy and planning into that, and I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I think that a lot of overall everybody liked it, and I think it was a great success. So well done to the people who arranged that. As we know, Dorp and OG and a lot of his hard work.
Yes, I mean, we were made aware of that event, and it is nice to see that, so many members of the community can come together for a simple, common goal, right? So, it was a pretty big weekend. It was nice to see the chat so happy and active. Yeah,
I just want to say again. Yeah, sorry. I just want to say again. I think this idea about community and everything else. As you know, I'm maybe one of the people who have a bit more time than everybody else. So at my time, I am quite active. But again, I really want to say, I feel like I've been here. Obviously, I minted. So I feel very honored to be in at the very start. And I want to say, I personally, listening to a few other discords, as you've recommended, to go out and see what other projects are doing, and I realized that maybe one thing we still haven't done is really the doxing ourselves a little bit, but maybe to our local communities, and maybe the idea is maybe we're old enough now, or the project's developed strong enough now to maybe start to consider how we can, as a community, start to meet in London. I believe I've heard on chat, London's quite active, and they're going to make a chat. They're going to make a meetup. Maybe a few other big cities. We can start to do that, and then hopefully that'll help to make a tweet or to make something that we can prove to everybody that we are who we are.
Yeah, I do see the point. I do see that point of view as well from people in the community, but we do believe that there is a certain power in remaining pseudo anonymous, right? We're not completely anonymous anyway, because we all do have our image and our reputation in the crypto space. So,
Sure.
but it is definitely something that we can consider later on, in the sense that like what we spoke to before with EQ Papi. It does feel kind of weird calling another male Papi, but in the sense that like maybe if we're at certain events, we know Mig is 100% going to attend those where it is possible, and maybe one or two of us would follow suit, but it is something that is up in the air and would be decided at the time anyway.
But also just community members ourselves. Maybe I think it's us, the community needs to step up as well and start to maybe, internally try to arrange to drive to meet in Paris, New York, Berlin, or, Sydney, Melbourne, whatever it might be, Singapore, all over the world. I mean, that's I think what we can do now. I think we're old enough, we're mature enough as a community. I think it would be great if we can. I think talked about it before. Maybe idea of trying to make a pin for a map or some way to be able to arrange on the server. Maybe talk to Ryan about that. To be able to do that, to make somewhere where we can, apart from the foreign language chat, to try to make those meetups in real life with just ourselves. Maybe to begin with, that's a good step, right?
Yeah, I guess we have seen some community members talk about a local meetup in their area and stuff like that. So I think maybe some will come to fruition soon, and then we'll see progress on that front.
Well, I just want to say I wish everybody the best. Of course, I know you work really hard behind the scenes, and I really appreciate what you've done. And I think the community also, we're trying to step up now. Like I say, the suite was one thing. Hopefully we can make some other step ups, and just thanks a lot for all your work, and thank you very much.
Thank you for your kind words and taking the time to speak to us. We appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Cheers. I'm out.
Okay, I think Book Nerd might be hopping up with a question. Oh, yeah, there we are.
Ah, yes, everyone's favorite. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
All right, perfect. I am a long-time listener and first-time caller, so thank you for inviting me up to stage. I have two questions, one that kind of puts you guys on a spot and one that has absolutely no chance of having an answer. Which one do you want first?
Let's go the one on the spot.
Okay, so if we were to set up a DAO to buy a castle that could be for SVS, how much can each of you guys contribute?
You mean the team members?
Yeah.
Well, it would depend where the castle is, how much the castle costs, what's the point of the castle, and then we can discuss it from
cool
there.
To have one. No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
There's a whole
cool.
business model behind it, and we're probably in like the 1.2 to 1.8 range. You'd be somewhere either in the UK or Ireland, because those are where the best opportunities are. But just whenever you guys are ready, let me know how much you can put into that, and then I'll send you over the wallet address. And if we can have that done by the end of the week, that'll be great.
Oh, okay, so Gen 3 is castles.
Here we go. The castle pass, just go ahead and get that minted. The other one is, this is a big question, and it's something that I ponder all the time and talk to a lot of people about. When you think about that one thing that the best projects have, what is it, and what's SVS's one thing?
Do you mean like a physical thing, or do you just mean like what we have from our like part of our project?
Plus, it's a matter of perception. So some people could be a physical thing. One thing, somebody else, a marketer, might be branding. But like for each of you, like what's that one thing that makes SVS SVS? Beyond like everybody can say community. But like what's that big thing? Like the Bored Apes have their thing, the Punks have their thing, everybody, all these other projects have their thing. Like what's that thing that makes somebody go, oh shit, I've got to have that?
Well, besides my voice every week on the AMA, which I know the chat does enjoy, we do believe that like the main part of what we do is like our innovation within the space, and how fast we do work on things and we ship things out, and we make progress within the space, right? Oh, I see a lot of people saying that my voice is a big reason, so that's always nice. Very bullish on 2D's voice. And also things like we keep finding ways to improve and add things, right? So one of the recent things that we did add would be like the alpha channels, which we have seen quite a lot of members actually give a lot of positive feedback on.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love that. That was brilliant.
Yeah. So like, just to talk a little bit more about the alpha. So like, we've actually been working on this for quite a while, right? So we do work with our alpha guys, and we have like a pretty strict vetting process we go through. We look for projects that don't have any invite contests, so no discords that are filled with bots. Then we do things like we look at the engagement on Twitter, and with our alpha stuff, we want our community to grow as a whole, right? Like with this, so it's always makes us happy to give people the opportunity to kind of get more exposure to this stuff. We have an entire team assembled for the alpha stuff, actually. It's a group of like 4 to 5 people. They work all around the clock all the time. They do research. They try to, we want them to be able to give the SVS holders like the best chance at getting into these new projects, getting exposure to the NFT market, making these moves and these plays they see people on Twitter talk about. So yeah, we're super happy with like the progress we've made on that front. And also the alpha revenue, it goes back into SVS, because we do see like people spend the profit that they make from it back into buying floor vamps and things like that. So
no, I like that. I think like you often hear people talking about their desire to have you guys go out and pay celebrities to change their profile pic to a vampire. But when you think about like a Jimmy Fallon buying an ape, you think about the why did he do that? Like what was his motivation? And then in that context, like what's the why of SVS? Like what's the why that motivates a celebrity or anyone to go out and buy that from the public and to flex it?
I mean, I don't know what's a nice way of saying it, but Scotty is pretty spot on. He was gifted it by MoonPay, if I'm not wrong. Same with the music video. So, unless SVS gives somebody else a castle, maybe we can be on, a TV show as well.
Yeah, and I actually found out through back channels that the whole Rolling Stone thing with Bored Apes was actually a paid promotion too, from a trade-off. So it's all paid in one way or another. All right, I just like to pose that question. We started chatting about it like late last week. A lot of people had their head in the cloud. Some people had their head up their ass. But it really led to a good conversation about what's the why.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to add on to that. I mean, ultimately, the why could also, I think it's also has to do with status. Status and rarity, wanting to be a part of, a society, like a group of people where, share similar values, and it's quite, limited and hard, I guess, limited or sort of not the easiest to get into. I guess that's also a big thing of, a why. And you did mention, a marketer may say branding is what makes, what makes, people want to go towards a project, like the identity of the brand. And, I do agree with that as well. Brand identity is also a big part of what someone pulls in, but ultimately it's a good number of these things coming together and just, sort of mixing in the melting pot. And that's what really pull someone in towards one project or another project, or not even a project, just product, like in general. That's sort of my take on your question as well.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll jump off. Just let me know the numbers on the castle so we can get that done. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you.
Well, we're pretty close to finishing, actually. So, is there any other questions left?
Yeah, there's a few more
Mr.
people. Let me choose Flame. I've invited Flame up.
Thanks for having me up, Ryan. What up, boys?
Hello,
Hey, how's it
hello.
going?
Pretty good, pretty good.
What's up,
Just,
Flame?
dude. How you doing, Doctor?
I'm good.
Always very bullish to hear from you guys. I'm not sure if this has already been asked, but forgive me. What about the Lady Vamps? A date?
Date for Gen 2, you mean?
Yes, sir.
Well, Mr. Big Artist Nig is not here, but it's going to be in December.
For sure.
No date yet, Mr. Flame.
No
I
problem.
mean,
I
we're
just,
gonna try to have it done, sometime in December, maybe second half. But obviously, we're gonna update the chat as we do go. We want to work on getting our value up for Gen 1 in the meantime, initially, which is, I know, something we've seen the chat talk a lot about. So, well, we will keep, this question is going to come every single week anyway, right? When Gen 2? So, yeah, so we're just going to keep you guys posted on a week-to-week basis on what's coming anyway.
right on, dude. Just wanted to say, Brock Vampton has been such a wonderful addition. Just on like the exposure, like the week to week, it's pretty nice to see like all like the blood oaths, and like makes the person really interested. Just be like, yo, what's going on with that? Kind of want to get in on that.
Yes, Mr. Paul. He's been
for
great,
real.
He's a great help for the community.
Very bullish. All right, dudes. Always good AMA. Always good hearing from smart people. Just really just from people all over the world. It's cool to learn from you guys, and look forward to next week.
Awesome, thank you. Well, we'll get our weekly flame check-in then.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, guys.
Later, man.
Cool. So, chat, if you guys see on the stages, we do have Count Oinky here. He's one of the guys that is managing the alpha channel you guys enjoy so much. So and there's a group of them that are a team, and they go through. Oh, we do see the pig gifts now. Troll, I thought that was Freddy for a second. Damn. So yeah, so Oinky and some others are the guys that run the alpha chat, and see all the projects and go through the process. So, if there's any of you guys that want to come up and ask some questions to Mr. Khan Oinky, we do have some time left. So, yeah, feel free to ask some alpha questions.
Also, Oinky, if you want to say a little bit about yourself, or introduce yourself to the Vamps, we know you haven't really had a formal opportunity to do that yet.
Yeah, sure. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, I started NFTs in mid-August. Since then, I've had a pretty successful track record. Successful enough to quit a full-time job about a month ago. Really involved in some communities such as Kong's, Vamp, the Sneaky Vampires Syndicate. Top Kick approached me and asked me if I wanted to run the alpha section, and I was really thrilled that he gave me this opportunity, and I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you.
Yeah, and if any of you have questions, just let me know of how I pick projects or what we do.
Cool. Maybe we can get some people up who you can ask
Some
Oinky directly yourself. Yes, sir.
If anyone has a question for Oinky, then let me know in the chat and I can prioritize pulling you up. But in the meantime, I'm going to pull up Big Boss 22.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hello,
Good. What about you?
Mr. Big Boss.
Hey, man. Listen, I apologize if I asked a question that might have been answered already, but I got Zoom called in the middle of you guys' AMA a little bit ago. I just wanted to know if you guys plan any more interaction or any more fan art stuff down the road at all.
You mean like the derivatives contest stuff that we do run?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We plan to, still have a few of those. We do those closer to each new release that we do, so there'll probably be a pretty big one around Gen 2. But maybe if we can get some stuff shipped out a little bit earlier, another contest for some of the art dudes around here. Maybe some stuff related to the lore or something along those lines, but we'll see for sure. That's something that we plan to keep doing all the time. It's great content for everyone. It's good to see everyone's talent and capabilities, and I think it's just overall, this is just generally a good time all around for everyone when it comes to these
Okay, cool.
derivatives contests.
Cool, yeah, because the first one was a really good one. I had like, great interaction with the community, man, and I did mine and tried to submit it. Actually, I did a bunch of them, and they didn't get accepted, of course. But I mean, it was fun to even fucking try. So I love it.
I mean, yeah, it was good to see everyone like be so supportive of each other and each other's artwork, and the whole process I think was great. I'm sorry you didn't get yours selected, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. So, look, second question, real quick. The floor price is kind of suffering right now. Is it because of the exodus to the altcoins, you think, or is there something going on with the math, how that's figured, or on OpenSea? Because I see that you guys changed the banner to reflect a higher amount of holders, and I was curious what that was about. Because I hadn't been able to have time to. I work 16-hour days. I hadn't been in the Discord like I wanted to.
Yeah, so we had to put the actual holders because obviously a lot of the vamps are staked, and
Yeah.
just how OpenSea, how it all works is those vamps won't be in those wallets, so it doesn't. So the actual holder count is the holder count that OpenSea displays is a lot less than what the actual holder count is. So that's why
Mhm.
we put it in the banner to reflect because it's concerning to see a collection of 8,888 vamps and only like what 1.5K owners or whatever it says.
Mhm.
So that's why we have it in the banner, just so it's easier for people to refer to. It's because of staking, because most of the apps are staked.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was because of staking. Yeah,
Yeah.
I staked all mine as well, and I was wondering is that what it was. Listen,
Yeah,
it's a
because when
great.
you stake, it doesn't reflect on the holders on OpenSea, right? So we just wanted to like clear it up for everyone because when there's a large collection but so few holders, it can reflect negatively sometimes. So we just wanted to be clear to everyone that that's not the case. It's because our community is so strong and we have over 60% staked. So it's
Okay, great,
yeah.
man, great. All right, and last thing before I go real quick, I know you guys are trying to get off of here. I'm working on my own project with a few friends of mine and the colleagues of mine, and we're wondering who do we contact or reach out to let you guys know about our project for maybe of any possible collaborations between our Discord channels. And it's a really good project and has some social responsibility involved with it. And we think you guys would really appreciate it. And I feel like I know you guys would listen to your AMAs and whatnot. And I just wanted to shoot my shot to see if I could, get a idea of who to contact to talk to about my project at all.
Yeah, you can just shoot T a message and that should be fine.
You can
After
directly
the AMA.
contact me for Count Wiki if we'll take a look at it.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'll do that. All right. Okay, guys. I appreciate it. You guys are great, man. I appreciate the time, man, and just y'all carry on and keep doing what you do.
Yeah, thanks so much for taking the time to speak to us.
All right. Bye.
Okay, next I'm going to pull
Goodbye.
up Dorkula. I think he has a question for Oinky, so we'll have a couple more. I know we're going slightly over the time, but we'll pull up a couple more people.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, Oink, real quick, man. Is there any way that we could do like, for the whitelist giveaways, in order to like, to win it, you've also got to do like the daily task or whatever.
Yeah, so right now we're doing raffles, but I think later down the road we're incorporating other ways to win the whitelist that has more involvement and community engagement. Some fun things like I don't know, trivia quizzes and maybe games, but that's a little later down the road. I mean, Alpha just got established 3-4 days ago,
Yeah.
and yeah, we're definitely gonna incorporate something like that.
Cool. Awesome. And then follow up for you. What is your method for vetting these other projects?
Yeah, I got that question asked a lot. I could definitely talk about that. So when I go into a project, I look at whether they have an invite competition for a whitelist. If they do, then I will stay away from them because, I mean, if you see projects, for example, that have 40,000 people in the Discord and only like 2,000 are online, and that's a big red flag for me, then I'll take a look at the collection size, especially with the market right now. I try to keep a collection size of 5,000 or under. There are some projects that are 10,000 or 8,000 that I will take a look at, and it's only if they're very hyped. For example, the Littles and Psychedelics. And then I look at how they're doing the whitelist. If it involves a lot of community engagement, that's a plus. I also look at their chat if it's really active, and then if there are other blue chip communities talking about it, such as Cyberkongs or Cool Cats or Punks, and any projects that I and the team would personally invest in, we aren't shilling these alpha whitelists projects, and we don't have an affiliation with them. And we always encourage you to do your own research, and none of this is financial advice.
Yeah, awesome. All right, yeah, that was it for me. I appreciate it, and we're gonna keep doing our thing on the community side.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you.
Okay, I think we'll do one more question from Karate Vamp. I think he has one for Oinky as well, so we should fit that in now at the end.
Hey, thanks, guys. My question to Oinky was actually going to be related to what Dorkala said. I think it would be great, since that's one of our main drivers is the community for engagement right now. Would be, a quick check if they end up winning the raffle. To see if they did, the daily activity, and that could be clearly mapped out at the beginning of the description, so everybody knows that they're required to do that. And instead, we got 1,000 people clicking the emoji, but only 100 people, doing a tweet per day. So I think that'd be good for the overall community. Wanted to say thanks to you guys, and I had a suggestion if we could somehow get in contact, even if we have to try 5 different avenues with Jared Leto leading up to this Morbius project, maybe doing an honorary for him, seeing if he could, be a part of the project in some way. And I don't know if we could do some type of partnership with their movie somehow as they're getting ready to release, because it's a major feature film, Marvel level, with Jared Leto about vampires. So, if there's any way that we could collaborate with them, maybe offer a ticket to the movie, or some type of collaboration with them. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's definitely something that we can look into, and I will start to pursue and see if we can get in touch with someone there, and we can sort of do a collaboration
Sweet.
with them. Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Thank you, T.
Yeah, for sure. I got that down, so I'll follow
The
up on that.
community is, super happy to have you on board. A lot of the members here care, very deeply about the SVS project. So, we're very appreciative of you and, all your efforts, and the whole
Yeah,
team in general.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm very appreciative to be here and for this opportunity to serve everyone. And the whole team also, we're very grateful for having such a great community back in our project, and we hope to just do the best that we can for everyone.
Yeah, we feel we're very bullish on tea, open bracket, not coffee, close bracket. We're very bullish on tea.
Absolutely. And since we're talking about brackets, last question just for Woof. Super happy to have you as part of the team, and just wanted to say a special thank you. And I wanted to know, is there anything that you could potentially be working on in the future that you could potentially tease us about from a dev side of things?
As in for the SVS project or another project?
SVS, brother.
Oh, the main thing we're going to be working on, of course, is the Gen 2 breeding system. Like, that's going to be the most complex set of contracts me and Freddie will be doing. And we have already thought out the entire process.
Awesome. Yeah, how would that work? Like, let's say you have two NFTs, they have different hat traits. Is there any way that you'll be able to lean which one you want to go towards, or will it be like an algorithm based connection there?
Yeah, so what we've decided as of now, there will be obviously, as it's like combining two NFTs together, there will be a high percentage getting either trait, right? So we're not sure yet on maybe the body type to be 50% from both NFTs, as that's what normally is, right? Between two things, and then hats. Yeah, we need to decide on that. Me and Freddie have been looking at it, and of course we're also integrating the bats as a booster for certain traits. So the algorithm behind it, of course, we're gonna publish I think we're gonna publish a simulator. That's what Axie Infinity does for there's community built simulators where you can try out breeding between two characters and possibly get that. So we're gonna look into publishing one like that as well when we do release.
Wow, that would be so cool. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess we can all kind of strategize and think if there's any way to enhance the simulator. Um, almost like a mechanism where you could retry and spend more blood to do another spin on the traits per se. Like that might be something interesting to incorporate.
Yeah, so we obviously want a system where you're going to be careful, right? Because where you whether you breed your vampire with another where you do that because there will only be certain like a set amount you can breed between two vampires. So you have to approach that in some strategic way, so you get the most value out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really cool if you could maybe spend a third or a half of the amount of blood. You'll view it first and then you confirm it, or you could spend another half or a third amount in blood to respin it without going up to a doubled or triple amount of blood to do another spin. Just something to think about if the team wants to talk about that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. That's something we're definitely going to take into account.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you all.
Oh, I was muted. Thank you very much. There's some pretty good suggestions there. Nice. A little bit of a developer alpha and, to tease at the end there. So I just want to say thank you everyone for tuning into this week's AMA. It was good. We went a little bit over, but it's always a fun time with everyone. So thank you so much for tuning in, and next week we will see you again.
Freddy's big, by the way.
Extremely large.